My name is Agung Kusumajati.
I am Indriani Suryadi.
My name is Muhammad Fajar Akbar.
And my name is Adi Winata Aman. We are from Syndicate 5. And now we would like to present about scenario planning of PLN. What is scenario planning? Scenario planning is a process that stimulates imaginative, creative thinking to better prepare an organization for the future. Scenarios avoid making single, falsely confident prediction based on today's model or view of the world. Rather, they consider multiple hypotheses for how the model might evolve along more varied dimensions. Each scenario considers a different set of outcomes for these uncertainties, allowing them to be managed proactively. There are 8 components of scenario planning. Number 1 is key focal issue. This is the most significant issue for upcoming decision. Number 2 is driving force. Driving force are further divided into 2 categories, predetermined and uncertain. Number 3 is critical uncertainties. This is the top 2 that are most important or influential and uncertain. Number 4 is scenario framework, followed by number 5 scenarios, which is the different features that result from the interaction of critical and selected uncertainties. And number 6 is narrative. Each scenario is then refined and woven into a narrative or story. Number 7 is implications and options. Then we explore the implications or impact of each scenario and identify the options to live in each scenario. The last one, number 8, is early warning signals. This is leading indicators of the emergence of one scenario or another. Then, all of these components are included in 5 scenario planning stage, which are orientation, exploration, scenario and narrative creation, option considerations, and the last is integration. Stage 1, orientation, background research. The government desire to accelerate the new and renewable energy to 23% by 2025 by building PLTS atap can threaten the electricity system. The plan to revise the regulation of Minister of Energy and Mineral Resource number 49 of 2018 concerning the use of rooftop solar power generation system by PLN consumers also has the potential to create loss for the state. The content of revision state that the export and import tariff for rooftop PLTS will be 100% of the electricity tariff or an increase of 35% compared to the old regulation, which was only 65% of the electricity tariff. This means that PLN must buy PLTS atap electricity at higher price. So our key focal issue will be what is the impact of the revised regulation from the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resource of Republic Indonesia number 49 2018 on PLN in the next 10 years.
Now we are going to identify the driving forces in the case of PLTS atap. Driving forces method is made of a very comprehensive procedure which consists of 6 steps. In the first step, the driving forces affecting the futures are identified through research, usually in workshop settings. Participants are asked to work initially by themselves and then to break out in small groups to find as many driving forces as possible. In the second step, driving forces are clustered in groups of driving forces that have a high impact on each other. For instance, the development of artificial intelligence increases in computing power and decreases of their costs are probably driving forces that can be clustered together. In the third step, the extreme behaviors of clusters along a continuous axis are determined. We basically ask, what would the 2 extreme behaviors of the clusters be if they were to go upwards and downwards? These extreme behaviors are called factors. In the fourth step, these factors are ranked on 2 measures, impact and uncertainty, with the goal to find the 2 or 3 most impactful and uncertain factors. In the fifth step, these 2 or 3 factors are located on a matrix. If we choose 2 factors, we will have 4 corresponding scenarios. If we choose 3 factors, we will have 8 corresponding scenarios. The fact that most of the scenario planners choose 2 factors made this the 2 by 2 method, but we can actually also have 3 axes. Finally, in the 6th step, the scenario plots are created based on the constraints of the matrix. Now we are going to identify the driving forces in the case of PLTS ATAP, which are divided into 3 categories: organization, transactional, and contextual. The driving forces in the category of organizations include management capability, asset utilization, operations efficiency, employee capability, values, leadership effectiveness, and business development. In the category of transactional, we identify customer demand, technology supplier, license supplier, market price, and competitor move. The last is contextual. The driving forces identified are government policy, politics and economic situations, customer behavior, and technology advancement. And then we identify each of the driving forces based on its uncertainty and impact using the 2 by 2 matrix. As we can see, government policy and technology advancement are the most uncertain and impactful driving forces. It means that in the case of PLTS ATAP, those 2 forces would be the most impactful driving forces, but it comes with uncertainty as it would very much depend on the government policy, whether it favors PT PLN or the opposite.
Okay, I will continue to the stage 3 scenario element. In this section, we will describe all the elements in every scenario planning that we have. Based on the driving forces before, we concentrate into 2 driving forces that are government policy and technology advancement. And then we created 2 axes also. The first axis is X-axis is for the government policy. There is a low regulated until highly regulated. And then the second axis is Y-axis is for the technology advancement. There is from slow technology advancement until fast technology advancement. And based on the figure, we have 4 scenario planning. The first is redup, the second is terang, the third is mati lampu, and the fourth is konslet. And now we are focused on that figure. The first scenario planning is redup. The condition is low government policy and fast technology advancement. And the elements are technology disruption due to unregulated technology, tight competition, price war, and non-optimal business development. And the second scenario planning is terang. The conditions are highly regulated from government policy and fast technology advancement. And the elements are business diversification, installation and maintenance business of PLTS ATAP, and then business optimization. And then the third scenario planning is mati lampu. The condition is low government policy and slow technology advancement. The elements are lagging business development and are running business as usual. And the last scenario planning is konslet. The condition is slow technology advancement and highly regulated from the government policy. And the elements are joint venture with foreign investor, business efficiency, regulated price, loss in competition, and higher bureaucracy. And then the next slide is about the stage 3 scenario narrative. In this slide, we show the situation that will happen to PLN for the next 10 years based on the scenario element that we already described before. So, by the 4th narrative that we will explain, we can choose the best scenario planning for our business sustainability. And now we are focused at the figure. The figure shows the narrative condition in PT PLN at year 2031. The first scenario planning is redup. The condition is there is an intense competition with external parties. Price will occur and there is no optimization of business development that has been carried out by PT PLN. The second scenario planning is terang. The condition is PT PLN successfully dominated the market by actively developing the PLTS atap technology. And the third scenario planning is mati lampu. The condition is customer from PT PLN is reduced because many customers have started to switch to PLTS atap system from non-PT PLN. And then the fourth scenario planning is conflict. The condition is after 10 years, PT PLN lost its business in the market due to high and tight competition.
Let's move on to the next step into implication and option. We divide this option into 4 quadrants, where the quadrant with high technology advancement, supporting by strong government regulation, will have implication, high technology, profitability, and high demand, where the suggest option are developing supporting product for PLTS atap and business scale up. The quadrant with slow technology advancement, supporting by strong government regulation, will have implication, massive loss of customer, high employee turnover, and collapse. Where the suggest option are business development, improvement on product and service quality, and level up skill employment. The quadrant with high technology advancement, supporting by low regulation, will have implication, high competition, not optimal profit, and hard to get market share. And the suggest option is increased product quality and service. The last, the quadrant with low technology advancement, supported by low government regulation, will have implication, low productivity, and business improvement. And the suggest option is R&D development. Stage 5, integration or early warning sign. With high technology and high regulatory support, we will find early warning signs such as dramatically increased customer of PLTS atap and market domination. With slow technology and high regulation support, we will find early warning signs such as decrease in revenue of PLN, massive layoff, and the close of part of the PLN business. With high technology advancement and low regulation support, we will find early warning signs such as emerging new competitors, new development on PLTS atap, and market share are dominated by non-PLN. The last, slow with technology advancement and low regulation support, we will find early warning signs such as lagging technology in the electricity sector, low quality of product and services, and decrease the number of customers. That is the early warning sign in every different condition in the next few years, where we need to know which scenario might occur. This can be seen from the early warning signal as indicators that cover situations that can give us clue. Thank you. See you again in the next presentation with us, Syndicate 5.